How many of us are here to do our very best? Or how many of us are here to complain against the negatives that we come across in our lives? There are different people with different mindsets, different thought processes, etc. Today, we have a wonderful human being who's always grateful and thankful for all that has been happening in her life till date, right from her childhood till date. Has a lot of gratitude and only gratitude. Let's welcome our celebrity and guest. She is none other than Mrs.Sathya Srinivasan. She's joining us all the way from a beautiful city called as Thane, which is in close by to Mumbai, I guess, located in Maharashtra, India. Hello, ma'am, and welcome to the session.
Thank you so much, Crystal. Very happy to meet you. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for being a part of our journey. Thank you for patronizing the International Fabtalks. People with experience like you are really a blessing for us. Ma'am, with your permission, I go ahead and share your profile and then we begin the session, dear.
Sure, yeah.
Thank you. Friends, allow me to share ma'am's profile and introduce her to you in an official way, dear friends. She is none other than Mrs.Sathya Srinivasan. She is a retired chief manager, HR, and that was the last position that she held. That is, she retired as the chief manager with regard to HR. Custom Technologies, my dear friends. She also is now presently working for Sri Sanskar Kendra as a teacher, which is, under the leadership of the divine grace of Gurudev, Sri Ravi Shankarji. I'll add more to ma'am's profile. She's really a wonderful and interesting personality I have come across. And when you get to meet interesting people, my dear friends, it always makes sense to connect with them and to learn something from them. What are we going to learn today? That's a secret. We'll be learning that in a short while. Ma'am is 74 years young and she doesn't look, as she's 74 years. She's always so active, polite, gentle, accommodating, adjustable, and grateful. These are the things we all should learn no matter what age we are. She's enjoying the wonderful company of little kids. They can be from the age of 6 to 10. She also has two lovely granddaughters and she spends a lot of time with them. One of them is 6 and the other is 3 at home. She's spent 40 years of working. She has 40 years of working experience, if I could put that right. Almost 40 plus years of working experience in the corporate sector. But she thoroughly enjoyed the short span of 2 years where she worked in a CBSE school in Hosur, Karnataka, called as Shishya School, as a librarian and a full-time school counselor. So apart from 40 plus years, she's also contributed 2 years in a school at Hosur. That's really nice. That is called as Shishya School. And she says this is the best part of her, professional journey. And she also says every person that she meets in her life is a God-sent person, helping her in fulfilling her dreams, in fulfilling her duties towards this beautiful life or beautiful connection with one another. Today, she says she's so grateful to God for having blessing her in different ways and especially blessing her with a wonderful son who's very doting and as well as a lovely, kind daughter-in-law. She realizes how God's grace could act upon us every moment. She's always very grateful and thankful for all the blessings that she has received till date. And she gives back that positive energy and vibe. She's from South India. She spent around about 20 years in Tiruchinapalli. She also spent another 20 years in Kolkata and lived there. Then she moved back to Chennai and spent another 20 years in Chennai. Now at present, she is in Mumbai, that is in Thane, almost close to Mumbai. And she stays with her only child. He is a wonderful son, a responsible and a dutiful son with his family. And they are living together very happily. She had a very wonderful and happy childhood with lots of love, affection, and care, which goes a very long way in transforming lives. That's what she says. If your childhood is really good, you will really emerge as a wonderful, strong individual. No matter what you face in life, your childhood, the upbringing of your childhood, the happiness and joy that you receive during your childhood days are very important, ma'am says. And she continues to pass this on from one generation to another. The beautiful sanskar that she has received as a child, she's passing it on to the next generation. And she loves nurturing them properly to make them great leaders in future. She believes that great success is possible in life. It should be the right way of thinking and the right thought patterns in your mind. She loves to talk and she looks forward to meeting all of you today on the International Fab Talks. So here is ma'am. She is Mrs. Sathya. Let's get to know about this special and unique individual who's amongst us, my dear friends, and celebrate her journey on the International Fab Talks. Before we continue, I'd like to thank Kamala ma'am for sharing Satya ma'am's contact details so
Number.
that I
Yeah.
could meet this lovely personality. Thank you, ma'am. Dear ma'am, how would you like to
Yeah.
define yourself, dear, for all of us? Who is the real Satya?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Crystal, for this beautiful, wonderful introduction about me. And also, I want to thank Kamla ma'am also at this juncture. So thank you so much. It's for giving me an opportunity to meeting you and meeting the audience also. So I will define myself as, Guruji always says, keep smiling and put a smile on others. So when you are happy, unless and until you are happy, you cannot put any happiness in the others around you. So happiness comes from the heart, from inside. So I always listen to my inner voice. And it's not that, every time I had a beautiful childhood, of course, I have told you already. But, we were in a joint family and the life pattern was different and all that. But even today, children are living with, nuclear families, and they don't have that, big families background and all that. But even then, when they are watching others doing some good work and all that, they are very curious. So they come and listen to, whatever we are doing, they will follow. Whatever we are saying, they will not follow. Whatever we are doing, they will definitely follow. And my ambition was to be with the children. And even in my last corporate work where I was working System Technology, I was always surrounded by young engineers. I used to go and do campus work and select people from 30, 40 people. And then we will give them a test and all that. We will select 20 people. And all of them, with a young crowd. So I always felt my energy was really doubled. So that is one way of looking at it also. So God has been really, really very kind on me. So I have had such kind of corporate experience as well as this children experience with children. So what I wanted, I got it. But I should only thank Guruji for, he told me some 25 years back, you become a teacher because people will listen to you, and you must become a teacher. And my son wanted to become a teacher. He said, you take care of your mother can become a teacher. But actually, I said, I straight away used to tell him, because I didn't know at that time, I was not all that devoted or anything like that. I went there to learn meditation part of it or some yoga asanas. So I came to know about art of living like that. I was very, very, finding it very comfortable with Sudarshana Kriya. So I just told him, no, how can I come and stay in the ashram for 21 years, leaving my husband? So in fact, my friends told me that, you were telling like that, now your husband has left you and gone. What happened? Like that kind, But that is not the thing. So that time I was not, my level was at that juncture. So now I feel that, everything as per the pre-written will, as per our karma, we get all the results. But strongly, I think it is because of Guruji's grace only that I have come to this stage. And he said, you will become a teacher. You will become a teacher. Every time I go and do the silence course, he used to say, you will become a teacher, because people will listen to you, whatever counseling you say, you give. Then after my husband passed away, I was in Hosur for 2 years in Karnataka. Yeah. So at that time, I went there to teach them some, Surya Namaskar and, some small yogasanas. So I went to help the AOL teacher there. So that is how, I got the very next day, she said, why don't you come and join me as a librarian or teacher in my school? So very next day, she gave me an appointment letter and I started working. Then she made me a HOD of arts, because of my interest in music and dance and all that, in that division also. Then I became a whole-time school counselor. So whatever recognition, I got there, it was far, far beyond what I got in the corporate sector. Of course, we get our bonuses, we get some reward, we get some money, but that is not the thing. Moving with the children, I took the whole lot of children in 2 school buses to the ashram, because Bangalore was very close by from Hosur. So we went there, and all the children were taught, the basic courses, Kriya. I saw Guruji and I spoke to him one-to-one on that trip. So that was a great, experience for me. Then also he said, you become a teacher. But I never listened to that. I said, no, how can I become a teacher? I finished my life, kind of. After my husband passed away, I was in that stage. So I thought I could not do anything much about becoming a teacher. But whoever, I was a very good volunteer. I've done some satsangs in Chennai, in all the temples, public satsangs. So I had a big group of people who all sing. I am only the organizer. Then they will never stop. It will go on for 1 hour. They will say 2 hours, 3 hours, it will go on. So that also, I enjoyed. So I enjoyed so much. Then I was thinking, I'm not giving back anything. Like, then suddenly this came. And suddenly one day I got a message about this teacher's training going on for Sri Sanskar Kendra. I wanted to be with the children. So it clicked somehow. I went and attended the training in Mulund, somewhere close by, and then online training also. Then I became a teacher. So that's about me. Definition, if you say, if you are happy, then you can really make all the people around happy. Putting a smile on others is the motto of life.
Wow, that's wonderful, ma'am. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing all of that. Your beautiful transformation from the corporate sector to teaching, and then again focusing on, spreading awareness of peace, joy, and happiness. Now, dear ma'am, I'd like you to share about your childhood. Now, childhood is that crucial part where many of us are not privileged to have a wonderful childhood. You say that you had a wonderful and a safe childhood. Would you like to share certain incidents or certain experiences with regard to your childhood?
Yeah, because my grandmother was there. My father's mother was, we used to call it headquarters. After that, my grandmother was staying, but she was, we used to call her fashion party. Party we call grandmother, because went to Nagpur to one of my father's brother's house. Then she said all the girls are cycling there. So she said the very next day she ordered my brothers to teach us, cycling also. So that kind of broad-mindedness was there. I learned a lot of things from her. So I have learned a lot of things from my mother also. She was patience personified, I can say. She had such a patience, and she brought the family integration together. Whoever comes, all my husband, my father's brothers, and all that. Even the last brother was 1 year old when she came to our house. She used to say, 1 year child, and she will be giving respect to him. And it was really, really, it is funny to hear now. But during that time, how it would be in a big family to coming and, helping all the people together. Now I miss all that, because we are becoming so very small families. So, but whatever we have learned, we must give back, to the children of today, and to the society also, to give back to the universe. So that's how I'm happy today. I don't have any complaints. I don't have any grumbling. So I'm very happy today.
Yes, dear. That's wonderful, ma'am, to be so calm, so gentle, and like no grumbling, no hatred, and no, what you say, negativity. That's really nice. Like if you take me, I have all of it. I have all of that. So when I meet people like you, that really inspires me that I too should come down to that level to be more accepting, to be more accommodating, adjusting, etc. And more grateful. All of us, my dear friends. Now, dear ma'am, in life, who do you consider your inspiration? Who has inspired you so much to be who you are today? There must be somebody, either your
Yeah.
family or
Yeah.
maybe.
I told you, 20 years I was there. After I finished my college education, I went to Calcutta. I went for a holiday, but I stayed back because my brother was also transferred there. So we thought we can take the family also there. I got into a job. So my uncle, my mother's brother was, he plays a very, very key role in my life, actually. So his name is Mr. M.K. Narasimhan, and he had taken me on a holiday. So he when we went there, he said I can teach his son and all that, little last son was in school. So I went under that, and I also learnt my typing and shorthand I had already finished. So then he said, here all the girls will go out to work and all that. How can you be so innocent? And so this thing he used to tell me every day something or the other. I learnt a lot from him. Even to iron the clothes, he has taught me, and how to do a stenciling. And then I attended some interviews and I bagged a job there. So that is how, 20 years after that I had, that is a real milestone, too long a time to be there. Then the family shifted all, to Calcutta, but even then, I learned a lot from him. I wanted to be like him, like that. And when I went there, I was 20 years old. So you can imagine all my precious years I have spent in Calcutta. So he was one of the most influential person in my life. I had a turnaround, it was a turning point of my life, actually. I love the family, so I bagged another family, my uncle's family. Even today, my uncle's children are like my own brothers and my sister. He has, three sons and one daughter. So I am very close to them. So I keep them very close in my heart.
Excellent, excellent, ma'am. Now, dear, we all have to leave this universe one day. We all have to leave this space.
Yeah.
Now, how would you want people to remember you when you are no more on this earth? In what way people should remember Sathya, ma'am?
Maybe with my smile, and if I put the smile on them, if I have an opportunity to put a smile on them. But I must tell you this, when my husband passed away, I didn't want to go and meet Guruji and all. My son said we will go to the ashram. We went. But Guruji asked me one question. I didn't want to speak to him also. I didn't ask him any questions. But I don't mind sharing it with you. I know it will go public, but even then, I have not told anybody. He told me, look, your husband is gone. It's okay. So what do you want to do? You want to go into the bedroom in one corner and sit and cry? Okay, cry. For how long? One day or 1 week or 1 month? Tomorrow I will die, and day after you're going to die. So that point of time, my mind went blank, Till that time, I didn't want to live at all. So because I've had such a beautiful life with my husband, wonderful husband I had. So he kept me like a queen. So I didn't have to bother about anything, So that kind of life I had. And then I was wondering how I'm going to live. That time actually, my son was like a mother and I became like a, child or something like that. I didn't want to live at all. So that kind of thing, I got from Guruji. So after that, my life totally changed. Then I started doing. He said, tomorrow you go and sit in Blesser's course. So I became a Blesser like that only. And it was an international course going on. So there were about 6 to 7 teachers were attending, Indian teachers. And I was one volunteer who joined. And my son left me there and came. I stayed there for about a month. And without remembering, my son is staying alone in Hosur. So I didn't come back at all. Then one teacher came and told me from Hosur that your son is alone. Who will cook for him? You come home, like that. I went back. So I became a blesser. Out of that, about 285 people joined for that course, and only 20 people came out as a blesser. And during the COVID time, I had beautiful, miraculous experiences with people, when I sent the bell, Guruji's blessings. They all called back, and, one person had not slept for so many months, 3 months or 4 months. And he said, you gave me one blessing the other day, putting your hand on top of my head. Then how I became, I had 3 hours sleep after 4 months of time, So that kind of experience. So then as soon as I get up, I started giving blessings to people. We have a group also. So at least to minimum 10, 15 people, I give blessing and then, send the blessing, and my day is also made.
Wow, that's so nice, ma'am. So nice to hear that. Now, dear, we have several women out there who are not lucky as you. As you said, my husband treated me like a queen. There are several of our sisters being abused in a very bad fashion. It could be, let's
Very
not say
true.
gender biased. It could be both sides. In now the present relationships, the husband and wife or partners, they are so abusive verbally, emotionally. I mean, toxic, financially, socially, etc. What is the message you'd love to give to all of these, the couples out there, the senior couples and the young ones, every.
Yeah. Reason out and, sit and talk is one thing. You can sit down together and talk, but try to understand and never give up. That was my motto. I kept it like that. And I also used to get angry and all that. We also, because, I've heard from some couple that, the wife is not at all getting angry with me. Whatever I say she's doing, that is also another very important thing. They don't have any thing on the life. So how to live with her like that. I've come across during my counseling one of the days. I've heard about it. So that is also another thing. So we can never give up on the other person. You have loved both of you, so you have to be flexible. That is the only thing I think. You have to be flexible. You have to understand in the other person's shoe. That is more important. Understanding their view.
That's really nice. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for that beautiful message. Now, dear, what is it that you love about Satya?
I love about myself. I love myself. Unless
Which
until you
particular
love
reason?
a particular reason, because God has blessed me with all kind of nice things, and I've never felt like I don't have this, I don't have that, like so that way my life is very happy. So whatever it is, money cannot replace everything. Money can come and go only. So we had, a lot of affection during childhood, and joint family together from all sides. We get a lot of love and affection. But actually, I really think, that is more essential. So you have to appreciate first and then give the scoldings. Good things first, then you can give. But when I was working in the corporate, they used to say, bring the faults first, tell me the blunders first. One of the bosses used to say. But I used to think I am very contrary. On the contrary, I think like this, But I never used to say. I am used to be very quiet. And now with Guruji's silence courses, I've become more and more silent. And it's not very easy to be silent, So in those days, young days. But now I have become very silent, actually. So I was wondering whether I will be able to talk. I was telling Kamalaji, I don't think I am a talkative person. I'm not a talkative person. So how can I talk in an interview, I said. But I am more of a calm person, quiet person. But that is the thing, So
That's wonderful. That's nice, ma'am. That's a good transformation in you. Like you're speaking so well. You also give importance to silence. You know how to coordinate your thoughts and share the right kind of message. That's wonderful.
so
Yes, dear. Now, ma'am, you spent 20 years in Tiruchinappalli.
yeah,
Like, was it the initial first 20 years of your life?
yeah. I was born in Trichy, and then we lived in Srirangam. That is a
Ah,
small town, you might have heard about it.
Yes, yes.
Srirangam, Ranganatha temple. So we lived there. My grandmother was there. So my father was taking care of my grandmother. So we lived and we called it as headquarters. And all my uncles were, my father's brothers were in different places. They used to come on holidays, vacations, and all that. But still a joint family. They had a great regard for my mom, who used to take care of their, things, necessary things. So that was very nice. And Srirangam days were like golden days for us. So I studied in Srirangam Girls School and then Sitalashmi Ramaswamy College in Trichy. I passed out. I did my BSc there. Then I went to Calcutta. After finishing my graduation, I went to Calcutta. My work life started with the first training, the foundation training was from Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So that is the basic training. So I was there for 2 years. After that, I joined Siemens. I didn't want to join a German company. I said, I have never heard the name. I was just 21 that time. My uncle only said, that is a very big German company. You must attend the interview. So, like that, I started working there. I was there for 14 years in Siemens. Then my husband also came with, he was with the Birlas. So he is basically a marketing person. Later on, he was with real estate marketing. So we had a wonderful life there. My son was born in Calcutta.
So I'm sure you know a bit of Bengali as well.
Yeah. In fact, when I was there, I learned to read and write also, because all the buses will come with, some Bengali writing and numbers and all that. So I took a class for that. Now I don't remember, but I can speak still.
Wow, that's nice. Now, ma'am, you've been in Trichy for 20 years, 20 years in Kolkata, 20 years in Chennai, and now you're in Mumbai.
Yeah.
Now, if I would put a tough question now for you, among all of these beautiful cities, which one do you love the most?
I love all places.
What, which one
I am
tops
very
the list?
adaptable too. Yeah, I love all the places actually. I had been to Delhi. My sisters are in Delhi. I had two elder brothers. They are no more now, but two younger sisters. So we are still, even today, we talk to each other and we are together always. So that is what I meant, when I said about my childhood. The last sister, there is 10 years difference. She's just like my daughter. She was like a doll. I used to make her. I was very interested in doing makeup, hairstyle, all that. But my dad, I think he wanted me to become a scientist. So he said all good, intelligent girls will take physics or chemistry, and he put me in BSc physics. One of the subjects I never dreamt of doing actually. But I passed out in that only. I got my graduation as physics, chemistry, mathematics, all that I learned. And I wanted to become a doctor, so I attended that interview, but I never became a doctor. I got a admission in nursing thing. But my grandmother and other uncles were dead against, sending me for a nurse. So it didn't happen. I went and attended an interview for air hostess also. So I've done, but I didn't want to be a jack of all trade and. But finally, I came into the fold of Sri Ravi Shankar ji, into the art of living. It totally, transformed my life.
That's beautiful to know, ma'am. Thank you very much. That's really nice. Now, ma'am, many of our viewers, your family members, your distant relatives and your acquaintances, your friends, they will want to know one big secret. The secret
Yeah.
of being active, young, energetic, and you don't look your age. You are 74 years young. No one will believe that. And what's the secret of all of this?
No, it's keeping your heart, with lot of love and, keeping your mind free. And I do a lot of meditation of late, not of late, for past 10 years, I think. My meditation is a regular one. Though I don't do the Sudarshana Kriya regularly, on and off, that becomes a gap. But it's not necessary that, oh, I didn't do today, like that kind. But you're doing something else, no? So that way. and I enjoy the satsangs, That is one thing I'm missing in after coming to Mumbai. So somehow it is not, I want my son and daughter-in-law to be present. They are so busy with their work. Now the routine have changed, all the routines are changing, So they don't find time, So I want them to be there. And then I will organize again, I think. Now that I have become a SSSK teacher, I think a lot of opportunities are coming for me. So, and my son said, you have worked for so long, 40, 50 years of thing. Why don't you just relax and enjoy? He says, you don't know how to take rest and how to enjoy life. So he's so much against me doing any work, So, but not this kind of, service or, seva kind of work. But whenever I said for 3 hours, 4 hours, I can do some part-time job or something like that, he always puts me off. Said not necessary. So I really, that is a great blessing, So I really thank God for that.
How sweet. That's really nice. Now, dear ma'am, you've been in the corporate sector for a long time, 40 plus years.
Yeah.
Now, if you could share the best part of being in the corporate sector, we'll discuss about the negatives of the corporate sector later on. The positives of being in the corporate sector for 40 long years, 40 plus years, 4 decades.
Yeah, I know. First, I worked with Siemens, in Calcutta. So that was my starting when I was in my precious years, 20 to 34, 33, like that. 14 years I was there. So that gave me a lot of, because whatever I learned from Bengal Chamber of Commerce, I could put in use, And those days, not even computers, the typewriters will be there. So then slowly all the transformation happened as the computers were coming, and now we are doing with the laptop and all that. So after that, I had worked in an IT company called DSQ Software also. So many people will be knowing me in DSQ Software. As soon as we moved into Chennai, I was with the DSQ Software. So there also I was holding fort in the CEO MD office. So there also I had lot of experiences, So not only people, but everybody I met, So I always had a lot of things, as though I was receiving. I'm always at the receiving end, I used to think, So now, instead of giving, now there is a time that at least at this age, I should give back to the society and universe.
Yes, dear. Now, ma'am, amongst all of these achievements that you had till date on the professional and personal side, what is that makes you the proudest, or what makes you feel the proudest that this achievement of mine, it could be a personal family one, it could be a professional one as well, which is that accomplishment that has given you utmost satisfaction?
Which one I should? There are so many,
One, which tops the list, I could put it in the right.
So many actually. Corporate experience is it's a vast period, It's so many miles are there, So it's each and every place, I've gained so much of knowledge. So how it is done, and as the time passes, see, when I was working in DSQ Software, suddenly the call center technology came. Call centers were there introduced at that time. So I even worked in the call center. When I was asked to come at US time, I put my foot down and I said I cannot come in the night shift. So I had to. So, but God has been kind, I think, because He put me into the APAC, Australia. For Australia, I had to go and work. So I used to go, leave the house at 6 o'clock and come back at 2 o'clock, like that kind, And that was the time my son was into the going into 10th, 11th, 12th, like that kind, So every time, whenever I think we should realize when we look into our life, we will see that, what is best for us is given by God. That is what I believe. Because that time, and I used to go for evening UK shift also I have done in the during the UK period. It is 2 o'clock I used to go, and 10 o'clock I used to return, And 5 to 6 was my break. I used to come home, cook some dinner and all that, put the deepam and all that. And I'm really amazed to think back, like how God has taken care of me like that kind. So that is why I'm really, really grateful. The gratitude comes from that. When we look into our lives every time. And now I have decided to keep Krishna with me all the time.
Yes, dear. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing that. Now, ma'am, we go back to your childhood. Were you a good student? Very studious in
Yeah,
study?
I was a good student. Yeah, not first rank or anything, but I used to be in the first 5, definitely.
Did you ever feel the need to sign your report card without getting it signed? Did
Yeah,
your
no.
parents?
Yeah. My father used to sign that. I never had any problem. He always used to say, Satya doesn't have any problem because I'm not scolding her because she is not giving me a chance to scold her like that kind. So she's very intelligent and he had big hopes about me. But my mother used to say, get her married when I was 15 years, 16 years, like that kind. I was actually, my father only saved me from all that. So then I had a late marriage only. I met my husband and then I had a late marriage only. But, in the childhood, actually, I can tell you one incident. We were learning Carnatic music, from a music teacher. Myself and my sister used to go for classes. We should sing and, practice in the morning. Sadhagam, we say. So we should sing and loudly and practice for 1 hour. And the signature is required that we have sung today. So that we used to take from our elder brother. We never used to sing at home. Quietly, we will show. And my brother has just started working that time. So he will put a beautiful signature for us and give. Those were the funny moments now, but what precious moments they were. Now, when I think back. So we used to go and tell the master, no, we sang, see the signature, like that kind. But with school and college, I never had any problem.
That's nice. That's nice. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, ma'am. Now, ma'am, what about traveling? Like
Yeah,
personally, do you like to travel in a group or you love solo traveling? What are your likes?
I like both actually. I can travel alone and I can be with the group also. I love to be with a team and go, but I've never done much of trekking and all that, because we have never traveled much, along with my husband. So he was always on the marketing. So see, after coming back from Calcutta, I wanted to go once. We even booked tickets and all that, but somehow, his marketing activity did not give him enough time. So we never so I gave up that idea. So we never went back to Calcutta after that. So wherever I've come, I'm not going back over there. So it's moving ahead. That is also, when you think positively like that, I'm always on the move of, moving on, moving ahead. So that itself is another amazing fact, actually. So we have to retrospect and think what is happening in our life. Most of the time we don't have that much of time. We don't do that actually. So that is one thing, I learned on in my later years.
Yes, dear. Now, ma'am, see, you have contributed 40 plus years, 4 plus decades in the corporate sector. That is like maybe in the early 80s, if I'm not mistaken. You would have been
Mm.
towards the late 70s, early 80s, you might have started your
Yeah, yeah,
career. Now, what do you think freedom is? You've got the opportunity to work at that time, that is
yeah,
4 decades ago, 4 plus decades ago. Now, still in certain parts of the world, women are still being crushed. They're not being given
yeah,
the freedom to go and work a livelihood. Even if they're educated, they are being, forced to stay back at home, give up their jobs and overlook their educational pursuits, etc. So what
yeah.
is your view with regard to freedom as of date?
No, freedom was never there actually. It is the same. Even now, today, it is the same. And that time also it was the same actually. Unless and until you have some home support, with support of your husband or your parents, it is very, very difficult. So, and it is the same, I think. Those things are still the same. Now I would say it may be even worse over the years, So that we cannot do anything about it, I think. So it is all the same. But if you have the will, you have the way. So we must be determined, to do. This is what I want to do, like that kind. Then we can go ahead with that. So when there is a will, there is a way, they say,
Very true, very true. Ma'am, before we sum up, I'd like you to share a wonderful message for all of us. Like, what is the message from Sathya ma'am to everyone?
Yeah, I would say never give up, never give up. Always, even if you fall down once, you get up and then move ahead. That is what I had learned, a big lesson in my life. So that is the thing. And always think of giving, I am always at the receiving end. But the more I want to give, like, I'm receiving. So, and always keep God inside, Always remember, God is inside. And there is somebody who is, holding your hands and taking you. So don't feel defeated, like, if you have failed in some exam or something. Nowadays, children are also having tension and, so many things are going around, So that way, never give up should be the motto. So, and be very positive and be very grateful for the blessings, count your blessings all the time. So whatever we have received till today. So 5 years back, it is not the same. Now what, and 5 years ahead, then whatever, turmoil we are going through, we will be laughing at it actually. So never give up. That should be the message, I think.
Yes, dear. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that lovely message. Before we sum up, we have a small round called as the rapid fire round. Which
Okay.
will be like just for 5 minutes, like where I'll get to know about your likes and dislikes. It will be a quick session. Yes, dear. Dear friends, join us on this rapid fire round to get to know about the likes and dislikes of our celebrity and guest.
Okay.
Your favorite, yes, dear. Your favorite month, ma'am?
March, because I am born in March, and my 2 granddaughters are also born in March. So
Maybe
we
know
have
your birthday?
my birthday, 18th March.
18th March. Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great.
And
yes,
they are also in March. So
wonderful.
We have a big birthday blast, together combined we celebrate. So March has become very close to my heart because both my granddaughters are born in March.
Yes, dear. Your favorite color, ma'am?
Favorite color is white and all colors actually. I used to wear only blues. Then my husband used to say, why only blue? Then he started buying me pink and, other mauve and, maroon and all that. He used to say he liked, he always liked me putting a lipstick, big red lipstick and all that. And I had long hair. He wanted me to have a bobbed hair and all that, He was working with Birlas and he has moved with a lot of Marwaris, So he had a different taste, So anyway, I accommodated some, and for some I put my foot down. I said no. So that way, now I'm thinking back, it's nice. It's nice.
Yes, dear. Are you a tea or a coffee person?
Sorry?
Are you a tea or a coffee person?
No, coffee only. Always, South India, any house you go, you will get coffee at any point of time. But now, of late, for the past 3 years or so, I'm not drinking any coffee. I don't take tea also. But my husband was very fond of tea. In Calcutta, we used to have tea. So different types of masala tea and this tea, that tea, green tea and all that. So he was very fond of tea.
Yes, tea. Now, ma'am, we'll talk about Samyal. Like you might have learned the various dishes from the various cities that you've been traveling across for and spent like 2 decades in each of these cities. Have you learned the cooking style of those cities apart from Tamil Nadu?
I'm very, yeah. But I must tell the truth, my name is Sathya, so I cannot tell a lie. I learned some a little bit of cooking only after I passed 50 years of age. So I don't mind, I'm not ashamed to say that. But I never had, my mummy was such a great cook. Lot of things, I later on regretted I didn't learn from her. But, she used to say, so what will you do? I used to say, no, no, no. After I get married, I'll keep a cook or something. We will buy outside. We'll go to restaurant, this, that, and all kind of excuses. I never learned. But, now I realize, I should have learned this, learned that. But now it is easy, you can Google and you can get everything on the YouTube. So nothing is, difficult nowadays. All recipes are available. So my daughter-in-law makes like that, you seeing the YouTube, any special sweet and all that, she makes it, she cooks beautifully. So she learned in no time, in a jiffy, she learned everything. So I don't have to teach her anything, like, because everything is available now. So that way of, we must see the positive side, how things are changing, like, so everything is given. So you can keep a YouTube recipe thing preparation, and then, which is the best one suiting our family, and we can do that actually. But I never cooked, and I used to do only the cakes or, something different. uh, Otherwise, I used to make Maggie noodles or something like that at that time when I was 20s 30s, like that, even after my marriage. But then slowly I learned our own, sambar or some like that, whatever is necessary. So my mother later on, she said, no, 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 when the time comes, she will learn. That kind of attitude she got. So she never, as long as she was there, she used to cook. My mother-in-law was another one. She will never allow me inside the kitchen. So she said, no, 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 I will make it for you, like that kind. She was one of my best friends, I must put it in this. My mother-in-law also, I really owe it to them, She was taking care. Actually, I can say when before a few days, 20 days or 25 days before my son was born, my mom died. So that time my mother-in-law only came for the helping in the delivery, And he was born in Calcutta in Woodlands nursing home. So my mother-in-law had to come. So she came with my young sister-in-law, and they only helped, with the baby, that for the delivery. So I learned a lot from my mother-in-law. She will say, I don't know how to teach you. So you sit here in a stool, and then she will cook, you see how. And they all, they don't measure and put, no. So I won't be able to give. But she taught me everything. So my way of doing things, all my kitchen work and other things now, I follow my mother-in-law's.
Wow, that's really nice. A beautiful memory you've shared with us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was my best friend.
Yes. Dear ma'am, now towards the end, we'd like you to share 3 powerful words for us as a gift to the International Fab Talks. Any 3 empowering words, apart from please, sorry, and thank you. Which are those 3 words that you have been following right through your life till date, which could empower us as well? Any 3 words you could share?
First thing is the 4-letter word LOVE.
Love.
Love yourself, love everybody around you, and love the universe. And be very grateful for all the blessings, that you have received. Nobody can say, I have not received, I have only complaints, and, God did not give me this, give me that. So nobody has, its life will be ups and downs. So once you get up and come, you move ahead. That is the message Guruji tells us. So I follow that. Yes. So love yourself first. Unless and until you are happy and fit and healthy, you are not able to be of any help to others, no? So if you want to help your family also, you have to be fit. So that is the thing. That is the message. Wow. So love rules the world. Love moves the world, he says all the time, So he shows like this. Like, that's really nice. My granddaughters do every time. She will show one hand and we have to show like that. How's keeping it, Yeah, they learn all that, I'm really waiting after becoming the Kendra teacher. I'm waiting to. Recently I became, only 2 sessions I have helped. So I really want to gather so many children, and then, like how I did the satsangs, now I want to do the Kendra work.
Yes, dear. We wish you all the best, ma'am, in all your endeavors. We really are very happy to have had you. We look forward to many more interactions with you in future. The way you
Yeah.
explain, the way you talk, very polite, very humble, down to earth. There are many good qualities which one could pick up from you and learn. That's what we want the Fab Talk team to coordinate with the right kind of celebrities and bring them here to share their knowledge and experience as well. Today, you've done justice.
Thank you very much, Crystal. You're doing a wonderful job. I have no words to comment on that, actually. You're really, really doing a wonderful job. Thank you very much. And I thank Kamalaji also once again for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much. Such a pleasant evening. I will never forget. Thank you.
Thank you for being so kind and so encouraging and very polite, ma'am. I like the way you speak. When people connect with you, there's some positivity. Like, they make you make them feel comfortable in your presence. So that's something special about you. That's really nice. Like
Thank you.
blessings, you have that with you, that power with you to make others feel blessed in your presence. That I could say.
Thank you.
So much. Yes, dear. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
My dear friends, with this, we come to an end to the International Fab Talks for today. Stay connected with us. Share this wonderful video with the right kind of people. You never know who may be inspired by what has been shared today on this platform. And if you like what the Fab Talk team is doing, stay connected with us. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to love yourself. The message here is love, should be the main force in our life, to respect others, to give space to others, and of course, to love ourselves as well. Stay blessed.